We got Naruto, we got Luffy. Y'all let me know in the comments who wins between Naruto and Luffy, and we got a video explaining who would win. Also, we got a fan animation before we get the verdict.
Now, for this video, so that we are all on the same page, I will be using the respective canonical peaks in power between both Naruto and Luffy. For Naruto, this would be his adult self in both Sage of Six Paths mode and Baryon mode during Boruto, and Gear 5 Luffy as of the most recent chapter. So now, let's firstly start by taking a brief look at both Luffy and Naruto before the respective time skips, just so we can get the lowest possible baseline before starting on their more serious scaling. Both Luffy and Naruto experience massive jumps in power throughout both stories, so being stronger early on does not necessarily mean that they are automatically going to win later down the line. Starting with pre-time skip Luffy, his base form was already at city level of power via his feats near the end of Skypiea, with both flurries of punches and individually fully charged up punches being able to disperse massive cloud formations and ring a gigantic metal bell. While Luffy never does a feat more impressive than this for the rest of pre-time skip era, we do know that he gets stronger. Even if his base form somehow remains the same, he does create and begin to use gears 2 and 3, which further increase his power. There are a few misconceptions with the Gear 2 multiplier stemming from both a dubious canonicity movie and a mistranslated databook scan.
Now that he says that, bro, One Piece fans will deadass look you in the eye and tell you Gear 2 is a 50 times multiplier, bro. Like, just look you in your eyes, deadass, and tell you that and expect you to believe that, bro. I gotta see what he has to say about this.
But either way, the most reliable method is going off Doriki power levels, in which Luffy can match Blueno with a power level of around 800, and then with Gear 2 can match Lucci with a Doriki power level over 4000, making Gear 2 approximately a 5 times multiplier.
That's more like it.
You can maybe justify Luffy finishing pre-time skip with a mountain level power, at least when using his strongest Gear 2 or Gear 3
Mountain is kind of crazy.
Meanwhile, for Naruto,
I'll say
even
city.
before the tournament matches of the Chunin exams, he was able to output town level strength when he one-shot Orochimaru's giant snake with a small QB Chakra amp. At the absolute worst, he would be 10 times stronger than this in his one-tail state, as it's comparable to Sasuke's 10 times Chakra multiplier Curse Mark II state. You can get Naruto higher if you think from sheer chakra quantity he should be comparable to early Jonin level characters, which could potentially get him into the city and mountain level ranges. As for speed, both of them are oddly comparable. Both Luffy and Naruto have frankly pretty bad but frequently cited light speed arguments from Haku and the Noro beam respectively, neither of which I think are light speed feats. More consistently, they both can react to and fight lightning timers, with Luffy literally being able to dodge Enel's lightning, with Naruto being faster or as fast as Chidori users who can literally cut lightning. So who wins at this point? Probably Luffy. He is more consistently in that mountain tier of power than Naruto is, so he would probably just overpower him with a big fist, especially since it's way easier for Luffy to use Gear 2 and 3 than it is for Naruto to use the one-tail state.
I'm not mad at Luffy beating Naruto pre-time skip because obviously Luffy does have those bigger, more destructive feats and their speed is around the same, both dodging like lightning or have lightning speed feats. So I'm not mad at Luffy taking that, but mountain level Luffy pre-time skip is kind of crazy. Definitely city level, and Naruto is like small town, small city. But yeah, I can see Luffy taking that now.
So Luffy gets a W, but this was just the warm-up round. So let's move on to their full powers and the real match. Starting with One Piece once again, as Luffy has unlocked Gear 5, defeated Kaido, and become a Yonko, the potential scaling range arguments for him have kind of expanded exponentially. Pretty much all the higher end arguments revolve around one of the former Yonko and the strongest pirate in the world, Whitebeard, who through his earthquake generating devil fruit is stated capable of destroying the world. To determine how strong this feat is, it spills over into calculations for the actual size of the planet in One Piece, especially pretty obviously it is not the same as our Earth, and frankly is probably larger. However, the main issue is that there is no objectively correct answer for how large the planet is, and frankly it's pretty arbitrary determining the method you want to use, especially when the answers can range anywhere from a couple times larger than the Earth to being several times larger than the sun. However, being realistic, I don't think Whitebeard's statements, if current Luffy scales them at all by just having a similar title to him, are being hyper literal.
When I look at that Whitebeard statement saying he's planetary, I would definitely give it to One Piece fans, but when they start saying, oh, the One Piece planet is as big as a star, and if I can destroy the One Piece planet, that means star level, whoa, you're reaching, buddy, because just because the Earth potentially could be as big as the star doesn't mean it has the properties of the star. So him destroying an Earth-sized star, it's not the same as actually destroying a star because they don't have the same properties. But I would definitely give One Piece fans the benefit of the doubt and say, okay, let's just give it to him, you know what I'm saying? Naruto's stronger than that, but let's give it to him.
Whitebeard's power is to create earthquakes, and simply no amount of shifting tectonic plates would ever destroy a planet. I think more reasonably, the world in this instance is referring to society, and that Whitebeard could cause earthquakes throughout the planet like we see, and essentially destroy civilization. This would put Newgate and potentially all Yonko tier fighters anywhere from multi-continental to moon level in power. This actually is super consistent with other feats and calculations, as the strongest attack we've seen Luffy use up to this point, the Gear 5 Bajirang gun, is calculated almost identically to Whitebeard's feat, putting the peak of Luffy's power from multi-continental to, once again, moon level.
Without the Whitebeard statement saying that he can destroy the planet, if we like disregard that, moon level is also not that bad. But Naruto is both stronger than planetary and moon level, so when it comes to strength alone, Naruto's going to be strong regardless if you say planetary or moon.
Just like for attack potency, there is a massive potential range of speed for One Piece characters, mostly due to the oddly contradictory way light speed has been treated in the story. Well, several attacks earlier in the story have been stated or implied to be light speed. We have one of, if not the fastest guys in the verse, Kizaru, being a guy literally made of light who is constantly being called the speed of light, and
definitely
Luffy
speed of the
is
light.
only just now contending with him in speed and power. So I'm totally fine putting Luffy as faster than light, but to say he's like thousands or millions of times faster than light seems kind of just blatantly contradictory to what is actually being displayed on screen.
I definitely have a problem with that statement because he's under the assumption that Kizaru is only light speed. Just because he's made out of light doesn't mean, oh, he's just light speed. He can be 15 times faster than light, 20 times faster than light. Just because he's light speed doesn't mean he can't be beyond light speed. You know what I'm saying? Y'all get what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying with my Johnson? You know what I'm saying? Him saying he's just now continuing with Kizaru as if he's only light speed is definitely a crazy statement. I don't agree with that at all.
As for abilities, Luffy's powers, for the most part, are neatly sorted between the powers from the Gomu Gomu no Mi and his Haki powers. With Gear 5, which is essentially his go-to form in major fights, Luffy's body acts like a cartoon character's would, not only able to make himself bend and shapeshift in an animated way, but also influence the world around him in a similar fashion. This doesn't make him invincible, obviously, as he can still be damaged and run out of energy in this state, but it does mean that he is incredibly hard to kill or put down. On the other side of powers, we have Haki, which has 3 types: Conqueror's, Armament, and Observation Haki. At this point, Luffy is at the advanced level for all 3. This most importantly allows him to use Observation to not only predict movements, but briefly see into the future, Armament to not only enhance his physical stats, but also directly attack the internal parts of his opponent's body, and finally Conqueror's, which he can use to knock out people with low willpower, and also literally weaponize into his physical strikes. Will this be enough to beat Naruto? Let's get into it. Now, when it comes to the power of Naruto, just like Luffy, there is a massive range of power that Naruto can be scaled to. Just like with Whitebeard, there are unqualified statements in the verse of planet destroyers like Kurama being able to reduce the world to ash. But once again, I think this is referring to society and isn't actual proof that Kurama's power is like large planet level or something. As a consistent baseline for high tier characters weaker than Naruto, there are multiple different moon level feats near the latter end of the story. Hagoromo both created the moon and then threw it into space, and later on Toneri was once again able to move the moon while also being able to slice it in half. These feats have various calculations that put it anywhere from moon level, obviously, to potentially planet level in range. As Naruto just scales above the Sage of Six Paths and literally one-shot Toneri, I think it's safe to say he scales to this level of power as well. Beyond this, of course, is Kaguya's notorious Eternal Truth-Seeking Orb, which was going to destroy a space-time which at bare minimum contained a star. Now, while Naruto does not scale to this attack directly, he does surpass Kaguya outright by being able to fight and overpower Toneri, Momoshiki, and Ishiki, who are all relative to or stronger than Kaguya.
After what he just said, some Naruto fans will look you in the eye and tell you that Naruto and Sasuke are both weaker than Kaguya, but as soon as Boruto was a thing, as soon as we saw what they can do in Boruto, they surpassed Kaguya. Kinshiki, Momoshiki, and the other Uzukis literally was saying like they're stronger than Kaguya. Like, let's be real here. So definitely Naruto's star level is 100% valid. I can't even beat his Johnson over that. He's spitting.
Who are all relative to or stronger than Kaguya. So I don't think it's unreasonable to say he scales to this attack at least partially, especially when Kaguya herself was able to absorb it and grow exponentially more powerful.
Definitely star level.
Onto speed, there are multiple attacks throughout the series that are outright referred to as light speed that either Naruto himself or characters weaker than Naruto have reacted to or dodged. Unlike Dragon Ball, it's really hard to quantify the difference in speed between, say, adult Naruto and sick Itachi, but I think it's fine to say that Naruto is well beyond faster than light. For abilities, Naruto is relatively simple, but most of the time his game plan involves overwhelming you with hundreds of clones and using various Rasengan variations. Of course, beyond this, he has all the benefits of Sage Mode, the Kurama avatar, and a handful of other jutsu he uses sporadically.
Here goes the fan animation, chat. Y'all let me know who y'all think gonna win. Ooh. Oh. Hold on now. Okay, Naruto, hold on. Crazy disrespect there, Luffy. Holy conqueror's Haki. That was tough, Luffy. I can't even cap. What you about to do with that, Naruto? A fist to a Rasengan? You about to get crushed, Luffy? I guess they're unscathed. Am I the only one who thinks Gear 4 is low-key doo-doo? Hold on. They both taking turns just combo each other up. Oh, hold on now, Luffy. He's already down. That boy Naruto upgraded. Standing on your arm is great. Luffy, he in your mouth right now. I'm not gonna lie, Luffy. You gotta transform, gang. Gear 4 not gonna cut it. Yo. Oh my god. Oh my goodness, fight back, Luffy. Back to base? No. Oh shoot. Mr. 5. Alright. This decides who will win. What the? Gear 5 so tough. Ooh. Oh my gosh. Rasengan versus Elephant Gun on steroids. Let's go. Yo. Looks like Gear 5 Luffy just dug in Naruto's butt. But hey, bruh, let's hear the real verdict.
So, with all that being said,
oh shoot.
This. Now, I am somewhat disappointed when a versus matchup gets entirely determined by power and nothing else, but for the most part, that is unfortunately the case here. Luffy's pretty reasonable moon level scaling puts him in the same tier of power as characters that Naruto is capable of literally beating in a singular punch when not even in his strongest form.
That is
true. Of course,
true.
Luffy does have higher scales, but again, so does Naruto, whose higher ends are far more narratively supported and less reliant on calc stacking. Furthermore, neither of them have an ability that substantially diffs the other. While Luffy has probably a more varied defensive kit, I think Naruto, even though it's seemingly simple, has a more varied offensive toolkit and one that is frankly vastly stronger in pure power. So yeah, until we see Luffy make a fist the size of a planet or start dribbling the sun like a basketball, I think Naruto takes it.
I came into this video thinking, yeah, Gear 5 Luffy is definitely digging in Naruto's draws, but after what he just said, I'm kind of leaning towards like it can go either way. And the reason why I say that is because even if we give Luffy the benefit of the doubt, like let's say he's planetary, Naruto is still definitely going to be massively stronger than him. The reason why I had Luffy winning is because of his hacks and speed. I feel like Luffy is way faster than Naruto. Well, I'm not gonna say like way faster, but he's definitely faster than Naruto, and he has better hacks to deal with Naruto. But now after this video, you know, it's debatable, so I really don't know because he has a point. Naruto was one-shotting moon level character, so I'm not gonna lie, it can go either way, gang.